Today, in Contextual Point, I'm going to talk about pathogens of isolation precautions, which is really important in the step 2 purposes and also step 1. So let's get started. There are three types of isolation precaution. One is airborne, another is contact, and another is droplet. Airborne pathogens are really important in the step 2 purposes and also very specific, so it is easy to remember. First things you have to remember always is tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a pathogen which can transmissible via airborne. And you will always see questions about tuberculosis and its transmission route. And varicella and measles are another important two pathogen about airborne precautions. You may see some questions about childhood vaccinations and also integrated with precaution type questions. So you may see on your step 2 exam date that questions that are talking about childhood vaccinations and their transmission route and their precautions. And also SARS is another airborne pathogen, and when you see SARS you can also add MERS and COVID-19, and you may also see a question about COVID-19 and its precaution type, so it's airborne precaution. Another type of precaution is contact, and these all make sense because MRSA and VRA, you cannot get these via air. So think about that. If we get all of these from air, the world will be a really bad place to live. You may also remember as multi-drug resistance bugs are a topic of contact precautions, and also enterics, the bugs that gives you diarrhea, are also contact precautions needed. Contact precautions like Clostridium difficile and E. coli, and also scabies. You cannot get scabies via air. You need to touch to a person or to a place that infested with scabies. So basically, parasites are transmissible via contact. And the only hard thing is in here is RSV. So RSV is a bug that it can transmissible via contact, and in rare instances you may see some questions about RSV if you are unlucky on your exam date. Yeah, you may want to remember this one, but it's not that important. Um, Droplet precautions. You may memorize that like this. So, Neisseria meningitis and Haemophilus influenza are two bugs that could cause meningitis. Or you may also remember as that two things that we need to vaccinate against who is asymptomatic. So, and also influenza. So actually all things that make sense because these could not be airborne pathogens. We cannot get these from in route of airborne, but also we cannot get these via contact. So they're droplets. So influenza is another droplet bug, and also you may also want to remember adenovirus, which is another droplet bug virus. So yeah, this topic is really important in step 2 purposes and also step 1. You definitely see a question or some questions on your step 2 exam date about isolation precautions, especially about pathogens of isolation precautions. And if you know all of these, it is really easy to understand the the ways of doing precautions because all makes sense. So I also highly suggest you to make an Anki card about pathogens of isolation precautions, and you may use this one to create a card. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope it works for you. Have a great day.